Are you ready? A tale of might, a tale of magic, a tale of potion. Apothecaria, a solo potion making RPG. Written by Anna Blackwell and Mr. Victor. Chapter 1. The First Potion. Spring of XX22, 1st of Morndas. I'm so excited to be starting my apprenticeship after graduating AOA, the Academy of Arcane Arts. My assignment is to go to High Rannoch, a kingdom that was built in the Forgotten Realms, and meet a master alchemist. I don't know her name, but hopefully she can teach me a lot of things. Oh no, she is gone. I came to her cabin and I found this note. If you're reading this, I'm probably missing or dead. Let's hope I'm just missing. I wish I could be there to explain all of this in person, but life takes unexpected paths. Hopefully this journal will be enough to guide you. So first up, welcome to High Rannoch. It's a nice place, even if the people can be a little disaster prone. You'll be taking my place as village witch, and you'll be responsible for curing them of whatever injuries or diseases they've managed to pick up. Thankfully, curing folk ain't that hard. Mostly just a matter of finding out what's wrong with them and seeing what regions work for that. I don't know how much you've been taught afore, so don't be insulted if these instructions seem simple. I don't know what to do. Do I tell the authorities? Do I look for her? I shall pray to Gaia that she is okay. Spring of XX22, 2nd of Mar, Tudas. Today I met a noble adventurer named Nalamnath, an 82-year-old female Triton rogue. She had long, curled black hair and brown eyes, also rugged dark blue skin. She looked almost 6 feet tall with a skinny build. She was organizing a monster slaying tournament, with the grand prize being a precious longbow. Her voice was unusually deep for a woman, and she had chest hair? I consulted the master alchemist grimoire and saw what Nalamnath was afflicted with. Yeti chest. Hair and lungs are affected. The chest hair grows longer and thicker until it becomes a fur-like coating. They also speak with a much lower voice for some reason. I asked her what happened, and she told me that she got scratched by a sick Yeti while finding monsters that the contestants could hunt for during the tournament. So embarrassing for her because she's a lady with a hairy chest. I assured her that I would find the reagents ASAP. I saw that I needed to go to Meltwater Lock. It took half a day's walk to find it. I needed to get the wigfish first, since it seems it would be the most difficult. I tried to catch them by hand, but they were too crafty. I even tried to wait till the vain fish looked into their mirrors to snatch their wigs. But that didn't work either. So I decided to be patient and waited a few hours to see how the wigfish made their wigs and got the reagent. Luckily for me, the other reagent is in the same location. So I decided to camp out and get it tomorrow. Spring of XX22, 3rd of Mar, Middas. I thought it would be easier to see at sunrise, but I guess not. Where is this damned moss? After checking the grimoire again, I saw that I needed glacial moss, not tree moss. How did I misread? Had to walk all around the lake, but finally found it. Time to go home and make this potion. I will be so glad when I get this cottage fixed. Broken windows and floors, no cabinets, unsealed logs, so no insulation or ventilation. Luckily, I can lock the tools up. With the weekend approaching, I must finish this. Spring of X's 22, 4th of Mar, Turdus. I finally finished crushing the glacial moss into a fine paste. I wonder if you can use this to clean your teeth. Next, I gathered the paste into a flask from my apprentice alchemist kit. Added the wet seaweed wig raw into the flask and shook it up. A viscous, bright, sparkling green liquid formed inside the flask. Wasn't sure if it was correct, but I knew something magical was definitely happening, because magic always had sparkles. I rushed over to Miss Nalamna's house and gave her the potion. She thanked me and told me I made it a day just before the tournament. She also asked me if I could check on her friend who is sick, a guardian named Baspata, since I have a little time before the tournament. She also handed me 20 silver. Spring of X's, 5th of Mar, Freydus. I went looking for Baspata, but all I found were gold drakes. Those bird, bat, tiny dragon things are annoying as hell. The first potion was very tiring. Going to sleep now. Chapter 2. The Suspension. Spring of X's 22, 8th of Mar, Mundus. Robin de Mowbray was a 16-year-old male human barbarian. At least that's what I think he was. He had short, wavy brown hair and green eyes. He had soft red skin and stood a little over 5.5 feet tall and had a beefy build. He did not have a right ear and said he had found love and is getting married, the very reason why he moved to High Rannoch. As I have never seen skin so red before, I checked the book for his other symptoms, and I did not like what I found. Drunk. Blood, cold, and senses are affected. Struck by a vampire, the afflicted is drunken down to quite dangerous levels. On top of that, they keep leaving their window open at night, and now have caught a cold. I asked him to describe his wife. Unfortunately, I think she may be the vampiress Alicia. We learned about her in school. She feeds on monsters and only instead of humans to become more powerful. I do not have the power to stop either, but I'd rather stop a demon from becoming a hybrid creature. Best to not let Robin know that I know. I tried to use a potion with spirit and curse cleansing properties too. Brewing something that doesn't cure just the ailment symptoms is not very efficient, but I'd rather gather my ingredients all in one place to try and do this as quickly as possible. Thankfully, mountain moss is easier to find than glacial moss. I also found many unique things during this journey. Candy rocks, and an old Candida shrine. Candida is a servant of the moon goddess who loves candy and likes to play. They say if you pray to her, she slows down time for 1 hour so you can play longer. I left a piece of candy rock and prayed at the shrine. The moon moss had confused me with it being a shiny gray off-white color. I couldn't tell the difference between it and the moonlight. The moon unfortunately beat me home and the sun began to rise. I couldn't believe that I forgot the ambergris to make the potion. Shit. I now need to tell the city guard what happened. Spring of Exodus 22, 9th of Mar, Tudas. Mr. Bauder, the vassal of High Rannoch, the capital of Kingdom Rannoch, has ordered me to do a week's worth of community service at the animal shelter, and recommended that I get a familiar to help me become a better wizard. But I'm not a witch or wizard. I'm an alchemist apprentice. Well, if you're gonna take the damn witch's job, boy, then you better become more powerful. This is not a game. There are people's lives at stake, he bellowed at me. I told him that I know it's not a game, and I do not play with people's lives. Then he had the nerve to call me a loathsome half-elf. What a git. I'm usually used to people being racist, but to out me in front of everyone while trying to help cut me even deeper than any sword or monster claw could. Side quest: the animal shelter. Even though I was suspended and had to do community service at the animal shelter for unclaimed familiars, I did have some fun, but there are many ups and downs. Spring of Exodus 22, 15th of Mar to 21st of Mar. I am quite reluctant to go to the animal shelter because I wanted to get supplies in town. However, the guards of Rannoch decided to kindly wake me up at the crack of dawn. Today you're gonna have a big task ahead of you, says the guard. And boy oh boy did I have one. Bastion was big AF. What is that? I exclaimed. The stinky ass snail that you gotta deal with, said the guards as they laughed and chortled while walking away. Bastion was quite filthy, and the poor thing had cracks in his shell. And he had quite the frown from being teased. I decided to talk to him and found out all sorts of things. An unusually large snail from foreign climates, this gargantuan gastropod is about the size of a wagon and requires a truly tremendous amount of vegetation each day. Loving and incredibly gentle, they enjoy trading stories about their homeland and having their shells decorated. Soon afterwards, a young lady came to greet me. I believe the conversation was like this. Excuse me, Mr. Vincent. Yes, I said. Hi, my name is Deirdre Rose, but you can call me Deirdre. I'm the owner of the Habitat for Homeless Familiars, and I'd like to show you around the facilities. Plus, Bastion has special cleaning requirements, and you don't have to do it just because the guard said you have to. No. Those guards and Mr. Bauder are just jerks. I'd be happy to help you with Bastion. I never met a snail that could communicate psychically before. Okay, let me show you the way to his cleaning supplies inside. On the way inside, we were greeted by another volunteer. Jason was a young, energetic boy, probably about 13, with red curly hair, green eyes, and freckles. At first I didn't notice, but Deirdre did have quite a small frame, about 5'2", which isn't rare for most human women, but she was quite thin. Brown, short, curly hair and eyes. She was reluctant to discuss that she was half gnomish. I realized that I revealed that I'm half elf and told her I can understand being different. After I stated I was half elf, Jason scuttled the other way. Deirdre told me not to worry about it, so I began my duties for the day. As I was cleaning his shell, I asked Bastion did it hurt, and he said no, just his pride, and that it gets quite chilly in the winter. I told him maybe we could create a snuggie. What's a snuggie, sir? He asked. I told him it's like a coat and a blanket hybrid. Then he told me about how he used to love having silk in the old country, but couldn't get it here. I asked him were there any spiders in the shelter because I know you can magically mend spider silk for clothes. Then he became terrified. Oh no, I'm not going to Miss Spider. She may be a bit smaller than me, but she's carnivorous. Then I said, hey, if you don't want people to judge you, you shouldn't judge others. And he said, you know, Miss Spider always says she wants visitors, but always complains about being hungry, which makes us apprehensive. I suggested we bring her some candy rocks and tea. On Tuesdays, we couldn't find her. We kept looking and looking and looking. Then Bastion wanted to hear me sing. By the way, do you like to sing? He said. I wish I could, but I don't have a mouth. I'm not much of a singer, Bastion, I said. Oh, it's okay, I don't have ears either. But I have synesthesia, so I can see sound as colors. And I like seeing the different colors people make. I don't know what possessed me to sing it, but I started belting the itsy bitsy spider. Oh my Gaia, look at those colors. I bet you sound real good, 'cause I ain't never seen those colors before, said Bastion. But Miss Spider did not agree. Young man, I hope you are not a bard because your voice is offensive. I apologized to Miss Spider, and after some peer mediation between the snail and the spider, we sat and talked with Miss Spider and found out she is actually an interesting person. Once a resident of the Weaver's Woods until she ended up here with an injury, Spider has since become a welcome resident and sworn off of eating people, at least for now. Exceptionally quiet, she could do with some help coming out of her shell, so to speak. Spider loves riddles and can make beautiful web art. She also entrusted me with a task. In order to remember it, I extracted my memories of the conversation and copied a duplicate onto the scroll. Mr. Vincent, you seem like a very intelligent young man, says the spider. Why, thank you, I exclaimed. Do you like riddles? Yes. Okay, I'll give you one then. If you answer, then I know I can entrust you with a specific task. Okay. Riddle. What can't talk, but will reply when spoken to? Answer. An echo. Yes, that is correct. Now give me a riddle and let's see if you can stump me. Riddle. What can you keep after giving to someone? Huh? That makes no sense. Is this one of those abstract riddles? What's the answer? 'Cause you can't give someone something and just take it back. Answer. Your word. Oh wow, that just blew my mind. You are deep, sir, deep indeed. I now feel that I can entrust you with this task, but there is one more test. Come to the shelter tomorrow and try to find me again, but no tricks and no singing this time. Okay. Hello there, people on the internet. I hope you have enjoyed the first episode of Apothecaria. Um, as you all know, I am not a fan of editing, so I wanted to keep the video fairly short. That way I could have time for it to render and get it posted up on here on YouTube before midnight my time, Central Standard Time. So I've written out most of the playthrough except for the spring festival in the book. And I won't detail that because, like I said, it is a paid product and I don't want to spoil everything on the playthrough because I've seen me play Delve and it's very similar in terms of mechanics, but it takes longer to play because you have to write out a journal. You know, it takes more out of you in the creative process. I will be posting another video. I don't know when I'm going to post the video, but I'm going to try to make my next video a little bit longer and try to finish out the season. And then the third video will be the flower festival videos. Kind of like a little mini movie. I'm still writing it up in my head, but I got to get it down on paper. So y'all be good, be safe, and peace.